Ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully. Life will throw stones at you. There's no escaping that. People will try to hurt you, insult you, attack your character, and challenge your resolve. But here's the truth: never, ever react when they try to hurt you. Why? Because reacting is a sign of weakness. When you react to an attack, you're handing over your power to the one who's trying to bring you down. You've just given them the control to dictate your emotions, and the moment you do that, you're no longer in charge. If you want to be the one who leads, the one who wins, you have to control yourself, especially in the face of adversity. Control is power, and power comes from inside. It's about how you handle the blows life throws your way. Imagine this: you're standing on the edge of a cliff, the wind howling, the world pressing down on you. Life is testing you. People are pushing you, trying to knock you off balance. And there's one thing that will determine whether you stay on that cliff or fall into the chaos below control. When they hurt you, when they insult you, when the world tries to knock you down, do you let them have control, or do you take it back? Understand this: control is power. The power to decide how you react, how you move, and how you live. It's not about what they do to you, it's about how you respond. Every time you let someone get under your skin, every time you let their words or actions push you off course, you are handing over your power. You're surrendering control to them. You're letting someone else dictate your emotions, your mindset, your destiny. You are giving them control of your life. Now I know how it feels. Someone says something nasty or does something that stings, and the first instinct is to fire back, to react, to fight. But here's the thing: when you react, you've already lost. The moment you let them get inside your head, you've allowed them to control you. When you react emotionally, you're living by their rules, following their script. They've got you. They've won. But when you choose not to react, when you stay calm, when you stay composed, when you refuse to let their actions dictate your emotions, that's when you take the power back. That's when you control the game. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to answer their insults or defend yourself. Your silence, your lack of reaction says more than any words you could say. It shows them that they don't matter. It shows them that you are the one in charge, that their attempts to provoke you are pointless. Real strength isn't about getting loud or making a scene. It's about keeping your cool in the face of pressure. It's about choosing how you respond, no matter what life throws your way. You don't have to be a puppet on a string, jerking around every time someone tries to hurt you. You don't have to allow anyone to dictate your mood, your actions, or your future. You are in control. When you stay in control, you become unpredictable. You become the one who sets the rules. And that's when you can truly start moving toward your goals, unaffected by the petty distractions that the world throws at you. Every time you stay calm, every time you choose not to react, you reinforce your power. You become stronger. You build an unshakable foundation that no one can touch. So when the world pushes you, when people try to break you, remember this: the only thing that matters is how you respond. Reacting is weakness. Controlling your emotions, staying focused, and refusing to give them your power, that's where true strength lies. The world can try to break you, but if you keep your hands on the wheel, they can't steer your ship. Emotions are powerful. They can either lift you up or pull you down. The world will throw all sorts of challenges your way, and in those moments, your emotions are the battlefield. If you don't master them, they will control you. If you don't take charge, they will hijack your thoughts, your actions, and your future. But when you gain control over your emotions, when you learn to harness their energy, you unlock a freedom most people never experience. That's the key to success, emotional mastery. Think about it: how many people let their anger, their frustration, or their fear dictate their decisions? How many times have you felt the heat of an insult or a setback, and before you knew it, you were spiraling into a reaction that didn't serve you? Your emotions, if left unchecked, can be your greatest enemy. They can cloud your judgment, derail your plans, and lead you down a path of regret. But when you choose to control them, when you choose to not let your feelings dictate your actions, you take the first step toward true freedom. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. It doesn't mean pretending you're invincible. It means having the strength to acknowledge your emotions, to feel them, but not to be ruled by them. It's about understanding that your emotions are a tool, not a trap. They are there to inform you, to alert you, but they should never take the wheel. The moment you let your anger or frustration take over, you become a slave to those feelings. But when you can sit with that emotion, process it, and then decide how to move forward, you become unstoppable. You break free from the chains that hold most people back. Think of all the successful people you admire, the ones who've built empires, the ones who've made it through hardships without losing their minds. They didn't get to where they are by letting every setback knock them off course. They didn't let every criticism send them into a tailspin. They learned to use their emotions, not let them control them. They turned their frustration into fuel, their anger into action, their fear into focus. That's the freedom that comes with emotional mastery, the freedom to make decisions that serve your future, not your immediate reaction. When you're emotionally in control, you become a master of your destiny. You don't let anyone push your buttons. You don't let anyone dictate how you feel or what you do. You get to decide. The world doesn't get to knock you down. You get up, you keep moving forward. And when life pushes you to the edge, you stand firm because you've learned how to control the storm inside you. This is the power of emotional mastery. It's the freedom to live life on your own terms, to move through challenges with clarity and focus, without being dragged down by the weight of your emotions. The moment you stop letting your emotions control you, you unlock a level of freedom most people only dream of. You can create the life you want, not the life dictated by your knee-jerk reactions. You become the one who shapes your destiny because you are the one in control. There's an undeniable power in silence, a power that most people fail to recognize, especially when the world is trying to provoke them. It's easy to think that when someone insults you, attacks your character, or tries to break you down, the only way to stand up for yourself is with words, with a defense, with a counterattack. But let me tell you something, silence is the strongest response you can give. The world thrives on noise. People want to provoke, to drag you into an argument, to see you stumble. And when you react, when you match their energy, you give them exactly what they want. You become part of the chaos they're trying to create. You've just played into their game. But silence? Silence is the weapon of the strong. It says, you can't control me. It says, you don't have the power to provoke me. It says, I am too focused on my own journey to be dragged into your drama. You see, when you don't react, when you stay silent, you take away their power. They're looking for a reaction, a word, a response. Anything that proves they got to you. But when you don't give it to them, they're left with nothing. You've stripped them of their weapon. In that silence, you hold the strength of 1,000 voices. I think about it, people who try to provoke you are weak. They're the ones who need validation, who need to be heard, who need to see that they've shaken you. But silence is confidence. Silence is a declaration that you don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to justify your worth. You don't need to defend your position. Your actions, your results, your steady determination, they speak for you. Imagine how powerful it feels when someone tries to push your buttons and you stay unmoved. You don't react. You don't engage. You don't even flinch. The world expects you to crumble under pressure, to lash out, to show weakness. But when you remain silent, when you stand tall and composed, you force them to look inward. You make them confront their own insecurity, their own weakness. And that is when the real power shifts into your hands. Silence also gives you space to think. It gives you the ability to pause, to choose your next move carefully, instead of letting your emotions dictate your actions. The person who reacts, who speaks without thought, is the person who loses control of the situation. But the person who stays silent has the freedom to choose how to respond, when to respond, and whether to respond at all. This isn't about cowardice. This isn't about running from a confrontation. This is about strength. This is about control. It's about knowing that you don't need to react to every slight, every insult, every challenge. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Let them talk. Let them waste their energy trying to provoke you. You'll be too busy achieving, too busy moving forward to get involved in their noise. So when the world gets loud, when they try to break you, when they think they've found a weakness in you, don't react. Don't engage. Let your silence speak louder than any words ever could. When you react, you make yourself predictable. You give people a map of your weaknesses, your triggers, your buttons. The moment you let someone know how they can get under your skin, you've handed them the key to your emotional state. You've become a puppet on a string, and they've learned how to pull you. Reacting is like giving away your playbook. It's telling the world, here's how you can control me. And let me tell you, when you make yourself predictable, you lose. You lose your edge. You lose your power. Think about it. The person who can provoke you knows exactly how to do it again and again. And again, they learn your weaknesses. They figure out what makes you tick, and before you know it, you're playing by their rules, not your own. You're not living on your terms anymore, you're living based on someone else's agenda. When you react, you're responding to someone else's energy, someone else's attack. That's not power. That's being a slave to their whims. But here's the key: unpredictability is freedom. When you refuse to react, when you stand firm and composed no matter what they throw at you, you become a force no one can control. You become the person who doesn't play by anyone else's rules. You become a mystery. You become someone whose actions are guided by purpose, not by the impulses of others. When you refuse to react, you deny people the satisfaction of knowing how you'll respond. You throw them off balance. They can't control you because they don't know what you'll do next. The more predictable you are, the easier it is for people to manipulate you. They know exactly how to get a rise out of you, how to upset you, how to keep you in a state of reaction. But when you stop reacting, you stop playing their game. You create a new game, a game where you make the rules. And the only way to make the rules is to stay in control, to decide for yourself what matters and what doesn't. You control your focus, you control your energy, you control your emotions. The moment you stop reacting, you stop giving people the ability to steer you in any direction. And here's another thing: when you don't react, you control your peace. People will try to rattle you, they'll try to upset you, but if you don't fall into their trap, you remain calm, centered, and in command. You're not letting anyone's actions dictate your inner world. You're unshakable. You're untouchable. The world loves a predictable person. It loves someone it can poke, prod, and control. But when you refuse to react, you elevate yourself above the noise. You rise above the petty games and drama, and you create a new level of power. You become someone who commands respect, someone who is untouchable because you're not driven by the need to react. You are driven by purpose, by your goals, and by your own rules. That's power, and that's something no one can take away from you. Words are cheap. Everyone has something to say, but it's your actions that define who you really are. When people insult you, challenge you, or try to bring you down, they're waiting for you to respond with words, with excuses, with explanations. But here's the truth: words don't matter. Actions speak louder than anything you can say. The world is filled with talkers, people who will tell you what they think, tell you how you should be, tell you what they do in your shoes. But the truth is, words are easy. Anyone can talk. Anyone can throw their opinion out there. But the people who achieve greatness, who make an impact, who truly stand out, they do not waste time responding with words. They respond with action. I think about it, what do you think has more power? A person who argues with words, defending themselves over and over again, or the person who quietly goes out and shows their worth through their results? When you focus on what you can control, when you put your energy into doing the work, into proving through your actions what you're capable of, you silence the critics without saying a word. Your achievements, your progress, your success become the loudest reply you can give. Words can be twisted. They can be taken out of context. They can be forgotten in an instant. But actions don't lie. They can't be manipulated. They leave a mark. When you respond to negativity or adversity with action, you show the world that you don't need to justify yourself. You don't need to defend your position. You just keep pushing forward, keep building, keep achieving, and over time, that's what people will remember. They won't remember the arguments. They won't remember the words. They'll remember what you built, what you created, what you achieved in the face of it all. When you put your focus on action over words, you also take away the power of anyone trying to tear you down. They want to fight. They want to see you react. They want to see you explain yourself. But when you remain focused on results, when you keep your eyes on the bigger picture, you turn their attacks into fuel. They can't touch you when you're too busy winning. They can't drag you into their petty arguments when you're busy moving forward and accomplishing more than they ever imagined. Your results will be the answer they never saw coming. Success doesn't need to be announced. It doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops. It shows itself in the work you do, in the progress you make, in the life you create. The most powerful response you can give to those who doubt you or try to tear you down is to continue doing what you do, to keep proving them wrong, to show them with your actions that they were never worth your words. So next time they try to hurt you, next time they challenge you, don't waste your energy on explaining. Don't waste your time on words. Let your actions speak for themselves. Life is a relentless force. It doesn't care about your dreams or your plans. It doesn't ask for your permission before it throws obstacles in your path. But here's the thing, you have a choice in how you handle it. The world will push you down, it will test you, and it will challenge every part of who you are. It will hurt you in ways you can't always predict. But what separates the successful from the broken, the winners from the defeated, is one simple decision to rise above it and move forward. When life tries to drag you down, when people throw stones, when the weight of the world feels like it's crushing you, you don't have to let it. You don't have to stay stuck in the pain, stuck in the hurt. You don't have to wallow in the unfairness of it all. Rising above means you choose to not be a prisoner of your circumstances. It means that no matter how hard it gets, you decide that you will keep moving forward. The more you rise, the more powerful you become. You realize that pain is temporary, that setbacks are only stepping stones, and that nothing can stop you if you refuse to be broken. The hardest part is often not facing the challenge, but choosing to keep going after it hits. It's easy to fall into despair when things don't go your way. It's easy to stay stuck in frustration, resentment, or anger. But the true strength lies in what you do after the fall. Do you stay down blaming the world for what's wrong? Or do you stand up, brush the dust off, and take one more step? Every time you choose to rise, every time you decide to move forward instead of giving up, you build an unshakable foundation of resilience. Rising above doesn't mean ignoring the pain. It doesn't mean pretending that the hurt isn't real. It means accepting that the pain is part of the journey and then using it as fuel. It means understanding that nothing worthwhile comes easy. It means that every setback is just a setup for a greater comeback. When you embrace the struggle, when you learn to rise above it, you start to see the world in a new way. You realize that adversity doesn't define you, it refines you. It makes you sharper, stronger, more capable of handling whatever comes next. Every person who's ever accomplished anything great has been tested. They've faced hardships, failures, losses, and betrayals, but they didn't stop. They didn't stop. They kept going. They kept pushing. They didn't let the setbacks define them, and they didn't let the opinions of others derail their path. They understood that moving forward was the only choice. And the more they moved, the more momentum they built. The more they rose, the higher they climbed. The world will always find ways to challenge you. People will doubt you. Life will push you to the edge. But you have the power to decide what comes next. You can stay in the pain, stay in the frustration, stay in the defeat. Or you can decide that no matter what, you're going to keep moving forward. Keep rising, keep grinding, keep progressing. Because when you rise above it all, when you refuse to let anything keep you down, that's when you unlock the true power within you. That's when you become the person who never quits, the person who wins, the person who refuses to be stopped. So when the weight of the world comes crashing down on you, when the hurt feels unbearable, remember this: you have the strength to rise above it. Keep moving forward. Keep pushing. Keep growing. Your future is waiting, and it's only one step away. So when life tries to break you, when people try to knock you down, remember this: your power lies in your ability to rise, to move forward, to stay focused on your purpose. Don't let the challenges or the opinions of others control you. Don't let the noise drown out your vision. Respond with action, not words. Master your emotions and let silence be your strength. Stay unpredictable and refuse to give anyone the chance to dictate your future. The world will throw everything at you, but if you rise above, if you move forward with unwavering focus and determination, you will not just survive, you will thrive. Your greatest weapon is your refusal to be broken, your decision to keep pushing, your commitment to keep going, no matter what. Keep your eyes on the prize, stay true to your vision, and watch as the world shifts around you. Because those who rise above, those who refuse to stay down, will always emerge as the victors. And that, my friends, is the power that cannot be taken away.